Across Central Oregon today, we've had tons of sunshine. We are sitting under a ridge of high pressure, and our next warming trend begins tomorrow. Hey everyone, good evening. I'm Darrell Winninger, Chief Meteorologist at Central Oregon Daily News. We are about to do a deep dive into your most reliable forecast. Talk about the changes that have happened in the last 24 hours, what changes come next, just how much warmer we're going to be, and when our next active weather pattern is going to be pushing through the high desert. Also, we're looking at our next chance of mountain snow and even some snow showers in our lower elevations. All that is going to be changing here through the next 7 days, so buckle up. This is going to be fun. Let's start off with where we're sitting right now. Tons of sunshine, only a few light clouds across Central Oregon. None of these clouds have any precipitation associated with them, and we're not even seeing much in the way of haze. Just good air quality and temperatures that are running well below average for this time of the year, and in the lower 50s. Only a few spots didn't quite get into the lower 50s, topped out in the upper 40s for parts of the high desert, and so that puts us once again well below the average high of 57 in Redmond and 54 in Bend. So as we go ahead and look around the rest of Central Oregon, we have a whole lot of shadows on the ground for these traffic cameras. No wet roads out there, and traffic is running pretty smoothly across Central Oregon and through the passes of the Cascades. So your forecast model shows that with this ridge of high pressure, we are keeping it clear tonight. By tomorrow, mostly sunny, and the real warm-up begins. That's when we're topping out in the mid to upper 60s, and even into this weekend, there's no precipitation in sight, and it's all because of this high pressure. It's really not going to be till the beginning of next week that we actually see that next chance of rain and then mountain snow and stronger winds with big dip in temperature. So satellite and radar does not show much. In fact, when we look across the entire state, there's very little in the way of cloud cover, and the closest precipitation is way out of Central Oregon, mostly over the Olympic Peninsula. And right now we are looking at a blend of visible and infrared satellite imagery with radar thrown on top of that. So when we just switch over to infrared satellite imagery, we notice that there is very little in the way of any clouds across most of the Pacific Northwest. In fact, the closest system is over BC of Canada. You can see that low pressure just offshore. And for Central Oregon, we are firmly under this ridge of high pressure. It's not going to be until tomorrow that we actually start to see some warming, though. And when we look further out over the Pacific Ocean, there's another low that we're already starting to track. And that low is just to the northeast of Hawaii. But when it comes to the high pressure that's over the region right now, bringing very dry air over not just Central Oregon, but the good chunk of the state and getting over into Idaho. And so when it comes to relative humidity, we are very dry. We're sitting in the teens with some 20s. Now, all of this is in percentages. Going forward through the next couple of days, we're staying bone dry as well. Now, high temperatures in the last 24 hours, mostly in the 50s. As of right now, we're still in the 50s with 49 in Paulina and 46 in Sisters. So that actually puts us between 7 degrees warmer and 8 degrees cooler than just 24 hours ago. And so tonight, it's getting even colder. And what this is really showing us is that temperatures haven't budged too far. Oh, we just got an update. There you go. That's a better representation of what we're seeing with those temperature changes from the last 24 hours. Now, for tonight, we're falling back into the 20s. A few 30s and teens are going to be possible, but look at tomorrow. Through the 50s, into the 60s, we're talking well into the mid to upper 60s with a few 70s possible. And so that's mostly because of our ridge of high pressure building into the Pacific Northwest. We're already starting to see those impacts because of the sunshine, because of the light breeze. Tomorrow, that's when we add on. We bring that pleasant air mass right into Central Oregon, and 60s with some 70s possible. By Saturday, it could get a little breezy at times. More clouds are expected, but we're still going to be topping out in the mid to upper 60s. So what's actually going to happen is by Saturday, early in the day, that extra cloud cover is going to be brought by the tail end of a weak cold front. That weak cold front pushes through with in and out clouds. It levels out our warming trend. So we're actually peaking Friday and Saturday, and then by Sunday, still in the 60s, still mild, just not any longer seeing that big warming trend after tomorrow. So between now and Sunday at 11 p.m., next cold front's rolling in, and we are going to be dry between now and then. So altogether, temperatures warming up to 10 plus degrees warmer than average, but by Monday, showers start to roll back into the high desert. It's going to be a wetter, breezy forecast across central Oregon and much cooler, back down to near average for this time of the year. But then we continue to have a little bit more roller coaster temperatures and falling snow levels with back-to-back systems. Here's how this plays out. Through the overnight hours, few light clouds. It's going to be like that through the next several days, really through this weekend, just some in and out clouds. Freeze frame, Sunday, 2 p.m. That cold front starting to bear down on the coastline. That's a cold front that brings our next chance of precipitation. At first, just scattered showers, a little bit of mountain snow. And then another system rolls through. But in order to see that, we have to look at a long-range forecast model. So we go to the GFS. I'm fast-forwarding through a lot of this because we just saw it. Now, by Monday, that's when we get some showers. But notice there's still a lot of precipitation further off to the west. And an atmospheric river is going to be setting up. This atmospheric river continues to pump wave after wave of moisture right into the Pacific Northwest, each one bringing its own set of changes. But by Wednesday, that cold front actually brings a bigger drop in temperatures, with rain becoming snow for most of central Oregon. And that falling snow levels is where we can actually see some totals. But then by the time we get to this time next week, more sunshine is expected. So between now and Saturday at 11 p.m., no rain in sight, no snow in sight. Between now and Thursday at 7 a.m., so towards the end of our 7-day planner, as we're starting to clear out, look at this. 12 plus inches of snow through the Cascades. Lower elevations, a trace up to 4 inches, and a couple spots could get a little closer to 5 inches in the higher elevations of central Oregon. Now, this is still pretty far out, so we're not banking on those numbers, but it is going to be possible that we catch some additional snow. Now, some melting is also going to be possible because temperatures still going to be topping out in the 50s and some 40s, and so that means that above freezing, going back and forth from rain to snow. Meanwhile, winds just at a light breeze right now. Now, going forward through tonight and tomorrow, we stay at a gentle breeze tonight. By tomorrow, it could become breezy at times. By Saturday, breezy at times. By Sunday, wind speeds pick up because of that next system rolling in. So for tonight, we're talking 20s with a few 30s and teens out there. By Friday, highs in the 60s with a few 70s expected. So overall, that average high temperature is going to be 68 degrees. Some ups and downs in highs, but still very mild, well above average for this time of the year through Sunday. Then that next system rolls into the Pacific Northwest. So Monday, Tuesday, we have roller coaster temperatures that continue into Wednesday. By Thursday, chilly. Some snow showers expected and still gusty. So we are looking at a very active weather pattern starting next week. So enjoy this weather pattern through this weekend. Now, some changes are still going to be possible. We could see that shift as we get a lot closer to it, but ultimately we're looking at cold starts and warming days. Plenty of sunshine expected through this weekend, just some in and out clouds, and we're staying nicer and dry until next week. Next week is when the big changes to our weather pattern start up across central Oregon. And when it comes to satellite and radar, not much in the way of cloud cover and no precipitation in sight. That's the latest in weather. Join us tonight on Central Oregon Daily News with the latest headlines and your most reliable forecast. See you then.